Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. This is a special edition because this is our 100th episode, Beth. What do you think about that?
I feel like 100th celebrations are usually really old things, like, you know, a country is 100 years old. Or
I would say a 100-year-old country is pretty young.
Well,
That's what the rest of the world, we celebrated our 250th, and everybody acted like we were toddlers here. Mm-hmm. All those stuck-up Europeans.
But 100 does feel like a long time.
100 is a lot of episodes.
I think that's why I'm so tired.
Too many episodes?
Too many episodes. Yeah, my voice is tired.
I mean, getting your goat for 100 episodes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, people like it when we fight.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
that.
they do. They like the way you antagonize me and get me all riled up.
I think they feel sorry for me.
Well, maybe. I think they feel sorry for me.
Oh, I didn't even tell you this random thing. But our friends, Jim and Terry, must listen to the podcast some because Charles and Charlene and Jim and Terry got together with our friends, Lori, like Stephen and Christy's parents, and Dale.
Dale and Lori
Dale
Lee.
and Lori, and they told them about the podcast. So I wonder if Dale and Lori Lee will start listening to this 100th one, and that'll be the first one.
Oh, man. Well, this is a good one then for
crazy?
number 100.
Yeah. So word of us is spreading like wildfire.
Yeah.
Like the wildfire. I mean, just crazy. I
Ain't
mean,
that something? Those 6 people getting together. Did they all check into a nursing home together? Is that what they were doing, the 6 of them?
so mean. Oh my gosh, you're terrible. No, but
Charles tried to tell me the other day, he said, I actually have work to do. And I said, this is what I envision.
gosh, I don't know.
In Ronald Reagan's final years on this planet, he had dementia, I think, really bad or something like that. So I had heard that the Secret Service would go out every morning and dump leaves in this one section of his yard. And he would go out there and be like, time to rake the leaves again, Nancy. And he'd go out there and rake the leaves, right? They just gave him something to do.
Yeah.
I told Charles, that's what I envision Kennedy Copier, or whatever the name of Kennedy Office Supplies does for him. He comes into work and they're like, Charles, somebody dropped another box of pencils. Can you pick these up? Charles
has really important work to do.
He does.
Well, I do know that he kept you busy when we saw the Braves baseball game, like texting you lots of comments.
Charles will blow me up on some Braves games.
Yeah.
And that day we were at the Braves games, Charles, it was like every pitch.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm. It makes me feel like I'm important, like somebody actually cares what I think, which is very rare.
But nobody knows who all these people are that I just mentioned. But one thing that's random, so they're people that have known us a very, very long time because they were at the church where you had your first
They knew us before we were married.
Yeah, before we were married, at the church where you had your first youth ministry job. I hadn't even started law school yet. Yeah, so I mean, they've known us a very long time.
The 6 of them, 5 of them never thought we'd stay married. So
which one thought?
I think Charlene.
Oh,
Charlene's very a hopeful person. I think she was very hopeful.
Okay. Should that have been like the poll that we do?
Yeah.
Like...
If you've known us more than 28 years, who thought we'd stay married this long?
Okay. So random. Anyway, I'm sorry. I took us way off topic.
Speaking of marriages, I got to do a wedding
yesterday. You did. Yeah, for somebody that I don't know.
I didn't know him either. Mm-hmm. Total random. So I've weddings used to freak me out.
Yeah.
Because I was so nervous early on because I didn't want to mess up somebody's big day. Mm-hmm. But over the years, I've gotten to where I love doing weddings. Love it. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. And I think I'm pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. I think Ross was asking me how many people I've married. I don't even know. I couldn't even ballpark it.
That makes it sound like you're a polygamist. How many people have you married, Mike? How many wives
most of the
have?
marriages were in Utah.
But anyway.
So anyway, I couldn't even ballpark it. But I think just a small percentage haven't lasted. Oh. So I feel like I have a pretty good success rate. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, I'm loving doing weddings. And so I decided to put myself out there as a official officiant.
Yes.
Right? So I created...
An officiant for hire.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I put myself out there and just posted it on a couple of Facebook pages in the area. Hey, if you need an officiant for a wedding, let me know. Immediately, I got a call from a guy. They're the ones who got married yesterday. Mm-hmm. This call came a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
This is what happened. The pastor that was going to marry them called him and said, "Oh, I forgot. I'm leaving for vacation that day, so I can't do your wedding." What a knucklehead.
How do you not check your calendar on that? Hey, I know I committed to this wedding a year ago, and I just...
Yeah, because they didn't just pop up 2 weeks ago and decide they're going to get married.
Also, too, unless you, like, have a flight or something that can't be moved, or it's a cruise leaving a port, like, you couldn't delay it and leave that night. Like,
I thought, I mean...
That's awful.
This is why I don't like pastors.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, they're the worst. So the guy was like, "Do you have this date available?" And I happened to have the date available because I didn't make the semifinals of the comedy show.
That's a way of turning lemons to lemonade.
Yes.
So now you just do your comedy routine in the wedding. You
I
inserted
inserted
in
some
there.
jokes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, boy, is that hot out here? But it was a gorgeous wedding. It paid very well. So it was nice. They were a great couple.
Which we needed to pay well because we're furnishing Maria's place and stuff.
What
so
I
we
got
need
paid
it.
bought her a bed and
Maybe will it buy
table
them?
and chairs.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I spent on that. Bought her that stuff. So it was fun. So if anybody's out there getting hitched or knows somebody that is, hit me up. I'm in the business of doing weddings now.
So now you have how many jobs if you tried to count them all?
Oh boy, let's see here. Pastor.
Uh-huh.
Executive director of a nonprofit.
Uh-huh.
Small business owner.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Author.
Uh-huh.
Stand-up comedian.
Yes.
And now wedding officiant.
Yes.
6. How many you got, Beth?
Oh, not enough, obviously.
Not enough, obviously. I'm not here killing myself.
Well, okay, so, I'm an author. I'm a lawyer who's practicing as an associate dean. Am also a professor at Wake. I'm still doing that. So author maybe I could add in that I'm a speaker. I speak I'm the interim executive director of a nonprofit.
And what have you done this summer as interim? Nothing. I've done more than you have.
No, Tim asked me some questions and I answered them. Yes. And they were hard questions. Yes. But anyway, I've got a lot of jobs too. So I didn't know it was a competition.
I didn't either. You're the one that made it. You always make everything a competition.
No, I don't.
I can't help it if I have twice as many jobs as you.
Oh, gosh. Anyway.
I'm supposed to be in my golden years. I'm supposed to be retiring, and here I am adding more to my plate.
It's just a tough life you're leading.
My full-time job is taking care of you.
Yes. Okay, anyway.
I had hoped for our 100th episode. Honestly, I was going to set up for the very first time ever and video us doing this podcast.
I know you had said you were going to. And so,
well, you're looking a little rough. So I didn't want to.
So, yeah.
You just got out of the shower.
Because I was working on the garage. Maria has multiple things. I mean, bins of, I don't know.
She has crap. We can't even walk in our garage.
She has bins. So she went to UNC Wilmington, like, how many, two whatever years ago. And then didn't really unpack those bins because she needed to move to Disney.
Moved to Florida twice.
Yeah, so we moved to Florida the first time. And then we got her home from Florida, and had a day or two. So we didn't unpack the bins. We took the bins to School of the Arts, to her dorm, where she just took out the stuff she needed and then sent the bins back home. And then she came back home briefly and then went back to Florida and then came back home briefly and now is going to a condo. So she has bins from way back from...
She will pack 6 bins.
Yes.
Take them to wherever she's living.
Yes.
Come back. Leave 5 of them in the garage and take 1 and then do it all over again.
Yes.
She will get 6 more bins. So we need a storage unit.
And there was no organization to what's packed. So what I did is I tried to make a bin that's okay, these are her holiday decorations, and another bin, these are her collectibles. I found her graduation gown and cap and tassel. I found a pin board with stuff. I found decorations, craft supplies, multiple costumes. She likes to dress up like I do, not just for Halloween, but for any type of thing where we can just dress up and be somebody that we're not. It's fun to pretend. But anyway, multiple of those. I mean, it was just, I can't describe how many bins I went through and the allergies. And then some of it was just junk. I mean, it was just old stuff that needs to be thrown away. And then there was stuff I knew she wanted to keep. And then there was stuff that was like, she's got to decide on too. So there's all these boxes now that are labeled with different stuff. And then there's Maria's maybe to keep box and stuff like that.
Craziness.
Yeah, but I did find I'd moved out of my office and I never had really done anything with those boxes. And the sweetest drawings that the kids had made to me that I had up in my office. And I sent those to the family chat. None of y'all really commented on them. But like there was the one that Maria drew and it's like, I love you, Mom. And then there's some like Josh saying he loves me. But I loved Jacob's bird pictures. Like he had one like, and it's like a bird with some animal, and it's, I think it's like some type of raptor or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Right.
And then he also had drawn an American kestrel. But one thing that was always fun is just how different the kids' art was, like just the different ways that they approached and saw the world. But anyway,
well,
so
Maria's the bird artist also. She has that painting that we have hanging up with 2 yellow birds with red laser beams coming out of their eyes.
Yes.
Why does she add red laser beams?
I don't know. So maybe it was that Marvel influence, it was like, I don't know, the comic book influence because anyway. But yeah, so that's why I'm looking a little rough because I'm tired and it is so humid here. Like my shirt and everything was just completely wet to the point that Josh came out and said, are you going to get dehydrated? Can I bring you some water? Like it is just so humid here. But it was so humid. It's as humid as it is here. It's not as humid as it was in Atlanta for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. That was humid. And it reminds me so much of Orlando because after it rains, it's not like it cools off and feels better. It's like, it's just like steam and you're breathing thick air.
It's like you're walking around in a swamp.
It is. That is what it feels like. Yeah. And my drive home from Atlanta took way too long, but I'm home. So that's good after 2 weeks.
We're here in Kernersville.
Yes, we're back.
For our 100th episode.
Yes.
All right.
Where it all started.
Let's dive in.
Okay.
So we had one question submitted by Marissa.
You're going to make really people upset. But anyway, okay.
So one question. Marissa submitted a question. Who's your favorite Salem sister?
Right.
She asked you, right?
But that's like when my kids are like, who's your favorite kid? Or like, you cannot. These are things that people can't
But you tell me
choose.
who your favorite Salem sister is when you're not on the air.
I do not.
Yes,
I have
you do.
never said that.
All
Stop
right.
trying to instigate. Anyway, and then Katrina was weighing in a little bit. They'll comment.
What did she weigh in? What did she say? I didn't see anything she said.
They had texted me.
Oh,
I don't
they
have my
texted
phone
you.
in here, but yeah. So I don't know. I guess people are speculating on what the answer will be. People are waiting, anxiously anticipating what you're going to say.
What
and
I'm
going to
say.
offend.
Okay, first of all, I was thinking about it. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I don't know as much as I think I do as far as Salem sisters' husbands. But I feel like I'm more of an engaged Salem sister husband than most husbands.
In what way do you mean?
I mean, I know these chicks. We talk. We hang out. I'm doing their weddings. I mean, you know.
do what some of them do too. You show up at events and take pictures of us.
Yeah.
There are some that are much more engaged than you.
Who? I don't know any of these men. I go into stuff. There's nobody there.
We are not going to do this right now. I'm like,
Well, I, for one, think that I'm highly engaged. All right, so here we go. Since you're not going to answer the question of who your favorite Salem sister is, I will answer mine.
Okay.
Me and this Salem sister go way back.
Okay.
We have a deep, rich history together.
Uh-huh. I
even knew her before I knew you. We were friends since 3rd grade.
Okay, I can already tell. Oh my gosh, I already know who you're gonna say.
Who am I going to say?
Wasn't her name Jen Pardue?
Yes. Jennifer Pardue.
Yes. So, okay, first of all, before you give your big reveal, you have totally disappointed Marissa and Katrina, because they had said, and I thought, oh, maybe they're right. I'm trying to find it. They call the chat podcast fans.
Okay.
And they said, we know Beth can't choose, but Mike's the instigator. And I said, I'm afraid of what he may say. And Katrina said, he'd better say Beth. And she has an emoji of a halo. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that. You're right. And here you are saying something else, coming out of the woodwork with somebody nobody knows.
Beth, you'd be like 4th on my list.
Okay. Well,
I will
Katrina,
say,
there you go.
I will say, I would choose Marissa over Katrina.
What?
Yes.
No. Oh,
Yes.
my gosh. What are you doing?
Because at least Marissa submitted a question.
Oh.
Who's your favorite Salem sister? I even messaged Katrina personally and said, do you have a question? And I saw that she read it and never replied.
Oh, she ghosted you.
So, yes. So she's way down the list. Marissa's up. She's second to
She's
Jen
second.
Pardue.
Okay,
So come to find out,
Yeah.
when I first started dating Beth and I went over to Salem College, one of the first times, I feel like I met this girl, right? Wasn't she like
she
in your
was
dorm?
next door to me. I could hear her music sometimes through the wall.
Yeah.
Like she was like, I think I'm trying to remember, but yeah, so you could, yeah, she was on my hall right
Was
there.
she your grade or was she a grade above
I
you?
can't remember. I don't remember that. You're
I think
asking-
she was a grade above you because I feel like, so anyway, I've known Jennifer Pardue is what I know her as. I don't know, is it Pardue or Purdue?
I don't know.
We'll just say Jen Purdue. I'll just write it together.
Okay.
Since 3rd grade. We were in 3rd grade together, right?
Yes.
And so middle school, high school, we went to school together.
Yeah.
I didn't know whatever happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started dating you, and all of a sudden there's Jen Purdue,
Yeah.
and she's there. And she's like, lives down the hall from you, and she's
Yes.
going to Salem College.
Yes.
So, yeah. So Jen's my favorite because we're childhood friends.
You're not friends. You haven't talked to her. Like, if you talked to her then, you haven't talked to her since. You haven't talked to her in how many years?
What does that matter?
Do you think she's listening to the podcast right now?
I don't even know what happened. I'm going to be honest with you. I tried to Google her.
Oh,
to find out where she's at. I found a Jennifer Pardue in Greensboro.
Uh-huh.
So that could be her.
Yeah.
She is my age.
Right.
So I'm thinking that that's possibly her.
Okay.
But I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she ever graduated from Salem. I don't know if she went on to become who knows what.
An astronaut.
An astronaut,
Mhm.
doctor. She joined the Peace Corps. I don't know what she did.
Yeah.
But we go back to 3rd grade. I've known her since I was 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just throw those types of roots and relationships out the window, Beth.
Okay, this would have been good to be on video because people could see the eye roll. That's really.
But as far as modern day,
yeah,
Marissa definitely beats Katrina now.
oh my gosh, you're being so mean.
She didn't do nothing.
Okay, poor Katrina. I'm sorry.
Well, you
I
know what?
apologize on behalf of Mike. He's just so rude.
Rude is
Yes.
reading my text or my message and not replying.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so what else were we going to talk about since nobody gave us any questions?
Ha! Here's the big reveal, Beth.
Okay.
Check it out.
Oh, you have questions?
Questions that came in
Oh,
from
okay.
loyal listeners.
Oh, they did come in?
Yes.
How did they send them?
That's all kinds of ways.
This feels
Email,
unfair that I
text.
don't know. Why is all this a secret from me?
Because I wanted this to be fresh. So you thought Marissa was the only one, but no,
Yes.
we got loyal listeners. Not just Marissa, we have Rolf, Sarah, Doug, Luke, Taryn, Matt, Adam, all these people, even more that sent in questions that I'm now going to answer. We have 13. We're going to try
13?
I'm going to try to blow through these.
Oh, sorry.
No, look at you get a phone call, Beth. Let me put this on pause so Beth can answer this call. All right, so we're back now. We had to pause it because Josh is out buying food for Beth, and the place that Beth chose was closed.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Anyway, Josh is such a great kid, and it's wonderful when you're just turned 16 and you love to go drive, unlike when you're in your 50s and you hate to go drive. So he's enthusiastic about buying food for me. But anyway, okay, let's do these questions. Let's do it.
All right, number 1, who was Mike's favorite Salem sister? We've already accomplished that,
Yes.
Jen Purdue. Number 2, what type of bear is best?
Bear?
Yeah.
B-E-A-R?
Yes.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Not really.
Why? How do you just know this?
It's black bear.
Why? Because they're so lovable and
It's
cute.
the right answer.
There is no right answer to
There
this.
is.
This is dumb. How is there a
Black
right?
bears.
There's black bears.
Bears eat beets.
Okay.
Bears beets Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, Dwight Schrute. Okay, anyway, there's black bears, brown bears, polar bears, who are the most deadly, panda bears, who are not smart, koala bears, they're so cute. Anyway, so, like, what do you think for you?
I just said black bears. That's the correct answer.
But why? Okay. I don't know. It's really hard for me. Oh, grizzly bears. It's really hard for me to choose, but I think I would go with the black bear because that's the bear that's around here. Oh, no. There are these bears, and they're not polar bears, but they're white. And I think they're brown bears that may be white bears, but they're in Banff, which I've always wanted to go to. That's like a national park on the Pacific coast, I think, of Canada. And they actually have a rainforest there, even though you don't think about it being there. And Josh will explain that to be a rainforest, it's all about like what grows and how much rain you get. But anyway, I think I would choose those bears because they're so unique and such outliers.
Oh, that's you.
That's you, what, like
You're unique.
unique
You're an
outlier. Anyway.
I feel like this is We Bear Bears. Remember that cartoon?
Yeah, I do remember
Let
that.
me give you a Canadian fact I learned.
What?
90% of Canada's population lives within 100 miles of the U.S. border.
Oh.
Is that not crazy? Canada's massive.
Yeah, it is.
And 90% of the people that live in Canada live within 100 miles of the U.S.
Well, you know why?
And all they want to do is criticize us.
It's hard.
And I'm like, you know what, then? Move 200 miles away.
It's hard living up there because I watched this documentary when Josh and I were touring a museum about people building an igloo.
Look, we can't do this. We have all these questions.
Okay, anyway, but it was really fascinating. Okay,
like
keep going.
All right, I tried to mix these up. These aren't necessarily the order that I got them. They're not even, so I tried to do some fun ones.
Can you tell me who asked the bear question?
No,
okay.
Before I got to a serious one or two.
Okay.
The next three are very similar.
Okay.
They're more serious.
Okay.
So we'll do each of them one at a time, but they all fall into kind of the same category.
Okay.
First one. What's the biggest contributing factor to the success of your marriage?
Oh.
Why's that funny, Beth?
I don't know that this is what people are going to, are we
this
really
was a legit question.
Okay.
What's the biggest contributing factor to the success of your marriage? So first of all, this person thinks our marriage is a success.
Okay, that's the part I was laughing at.
And what contributed to that?
I think it probably has to be intentional effort put towards it. And so I would say whether that is like us trying like different, like we might try different hobbies, like a long time ago when you bought like a bike for me and then that helped, and then we went biking some, or like I would try disc golf with you. I think it's like not, it's about being intentional about doing stuff together, even when life's really busy and stressful. And also being intentional, I think, about having some novelty and spontaneity in your life. And that probably goes along with trying some of these things, like trying new board games or trying disc golf or trying, like, or you would go to things with me, like certain Broadway shows or something like that. So I think it's that. What about you?
Oh, man. Biggest contributing factor to the success of your marriage. I think, and this just hit me, I think clearly defined roles. And what I mean by that is you've got to be able to share the load, right? If both husband and wife, I'm just going to use chores, for example. If both of you are like, no, I want to do the dishes, and both of you hate doing the laundry, then the laundry's going to pile up. You're going to have a bunch of clean dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be some like give and take. Like, all right, you handle this, I'll handle this.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that leads us to success, we don't have a lot of overlap. You're much smarter than I am.
Oh, thanks.
So you're able to handle a lot of the administrative stuff, the doctor's visits, the insurance stuff. All this stuff that my brain could not comprehend, and I'd probably fry my brain trying to think about it. But I'm good at more domestic stuff. I can pick up kids and drop them off places. I can go get laundry at the laundromat. I can, from a dry cleaner. I can go buy groceries. Like there's certain things. So it's like, you tell me what I can do to help you. And then you're like, you tell me what I can do to help you. And so that's what I mean by like clear defined roles. Like instead of making sure all your bases are covered and not feeling like, well, why are they doing that? I think they could do it better. Like I've never questioned anything you've done financially or like I said, insurance wise or doctor wise or any of that, because you've done your research, you know what you're doing, and I trust you, and so we go with that. And so that's what I mean, like I think that's what's helped our marriage be a success is we've been good partners, and your strengths I lean into, my strengths you lean into.
It also helps, I think a lot of people fight about money, but we're pretty aligned.
Hold up. We're going to get to...
Okay, sorry.
Well, we'll get to the next question.
Okay.
That may come up.
Okay.
So the next question is, if you could only give one invaluable piece of advice to a married couple, what would it be? And I was going to say money. I was going to say, when you first start out, or even if you've been married 20 years and you've got to get to a place that you trust each other with money, that you agree how to handle money, that, we've always had joint bank accounts. Everything is open. Like what I spend, you see. What you spend, I don't see because you have some secret accounts. I
do not wish I did.
So, but when we see what each other are spending on, we've kind of given ourselves the freedom to say, all right, if you want to spend, I don't know, we don't have it. Maybe we did when we were younger. We had less money, so this is a bigger deal. But like, hey, if you want to spend $100 or less, go spend it. If it's going to be over $100, then let's talk about it, to make sure it's something we need to buy, and as you get older and as more income grows, then that might go up a little bit. But I think that helps too. That helps like the frivolous spending, and it's not that, one person has to be the penny pincher and, the fun police, and we're not going to buy that. But I think it just helps say, all right, is that something we really need? Let's think this through. Is this what we want? But I would say money. I think that's the one piece of invaluable advice is you've got to settle. If you can settle your money differences, that's going to solve a lot of your problems.
It probably helps that we didn't have any money early. I do think that helped form a lot of that because we had so little. So you did have to because you.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who don't have money and they get themselves in horrible credit card debt.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But when we first got married, I know you had your job and I was in law school, so I didn't have a job. And so you would bring home, I think it was like $80 a month or something. So we were kind of living on the $20 a week, which sounds crazy. I mean, but then gas and stuff was cheaper. But that's why
it wasn't that bad.
No, but I took canned tuna to school. We weren't, but I'm saying, we knew we had very limited, and we didn't have, I don't know if we even had a credit card then. I didn't get into the credit card game until I knew I could pay off the credit cards. I think to your point, I think we both view debt similarly too. And even with the money though, we don't have strict budgets. I can't live under a spreadsheet. That is with my personality, that feels way too confining and makes me feel trapped. So we have, I feel more, it's not even unspoken rules, but you just you look and and you can do math and that if you go and you spend some crazy amount every day on something frivolous, then that's going to impact where you could spend it somewhere else. And I don't know, but we've always kind of had our.
But I don't want you to think that. I mean, what do you think? I mean, like I said, that was my biggest piece of advice that I would give a married couple. Is that yours? Is it handle money?
So, because I think the other thing is, if you try to talk about how you would raise your kids or things like that, there's a lot of things in marriage that you think you know what you would do, but you don't know until you're there. And I think raising kids is what, because people could sit around all day well, would you send your kid to public school or private school, or would you homeschool, or how would you discipline your kids, or what would you do? You could have all these theories, but until you have kids, I don't think you can really figure, because there's so many things I thought that I would and wouldn't do with kids that were completely wrong until I had kids. So I do think money is a huge, and I just think that's what we probably have seen people fight the most about, or really a lot of things come down to. And I would say the second thing, which is directly tied into money, is communication. It's just learning to like just tell you directly sometimes when you're hurt or angry or whatever, so that you can just deal with it instead of. And I
It's
mean,
like it's like you have ESP, Beth. That's like that could be your
I'm
answer
sorry.
for the next question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let's do
this
the
is
next.
amazing.
No,
Why are you apologizing? I'm just saying the last of the trilogy of marriage questions. What does it take to build a strong and stable marriage and relationship with your family?
I think communication on all fronts. I think because out of what we've seen in the years in ministry too, a lot of people will talk to us like, one spouse may talk to you and one talks to me, or even friendships or church disagreements. People go into things with so many assumptions, and then they don't talk about it, and they just read based on people's behavior. And I think it's human nature to assume the worst. And if somebody doesn't give you a narrative to go along with why they did something, you're going to form that narrative in your mind. And so I think for us, and we didn't always do this. I mean, I would get mad and hold a grudge. We would fight. I mean, I would be petty about things. And that's not to say, too, that I'm not like that for a day or two. I think we're not perfect. I definitely get mad and pout for a little bit, or get angry at you and hold a grudge a little while, but not like for days or weeks or anything. Like, we see people that just let things fester and won't. And like you and I have talked about before, like, if they would just sit down and talk to each other, like you see these situations. And I think that with kids too. I mean, it's hard, like, because they asked about family, but with your kids, it's hard because sometimes, especially as they get older, they won't talk to you. But I think for me, I'm just always trying to put out there for the kids, especially as they have gotten older, like, I'm here. I can't make you talk to me. I want to be here for you. I want to help you. But if you don't tell me what's going on in your head, I can't read minds. I can't do anything about it. And that means my kids have had to point out things to me before, like they've had to point out, like, well, you say that I'm an adult now, that I'm in college, but you're micromanaging me or whatever. And that makes me mad for a few minutes and stuff. And then I realize they're right. But you have to be able not just to communicate, but you also have to be able to receive that communication and try to respond to it. Because I guess it doesn't matter a lot too if you communicate a lot, but you don't ever try to change some of your behaviors. What do you think?
This is going to be cliche, but what does it take to build a strong and stable marriage and relationship with your family? Time.
Yeah.
It just takes time. There's not been a couple on earth that has ever gotten married and had every problem solved within the first year and was perfect after that.
Yeah.
It takes time because you're continually maturing.
Yeah.
You've got to continue to work on yourself because your marriage is only going to be as healthy as you are. And you go to counseling, I go to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
We work on ourselves, and that ultimately helps us. And so I just think it takes time, and that time being maturity, that time realizing this isn't the end of the world if I don't get my way, But you've got to work on yourself over that time. And because the healthier you are, the healthier we are.
And I do think that's one of the hard things for like both of us. We're people pleasers. We're both fixers. Like, we want to fix things. And so that could lead to disaster in a marriage. But I think to your point about like the counseling and stuff, we could just look and just constantly try to fix each other or
I know
something.
you like to fix me quite a bit.
Well,
You're a blamer and a fixer. So
listen, you would only be like a quarter of the man you are today if I hadn't like fixed these things.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like to your point, I think going to my own therapy and working through things and realizing also what I'm contributing to the problem, like having that self-awareness. So I think you're right. I think you have to, and that's probably the biggest misconception I think women especially have, is we feel like it's selfish to spend any time on ourselves, even for maybe therapy or self-aware, and not just therapy, but anything that gives you perspective and self-awareness is going to benefit your entire family. Otherwise, you're just out there reacting and going on autopilot and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. Hopefully you just solved everyone's marriage problems.
I think I did. Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Well, those are three heavy questions, but they all kind of went together. So here's a fun one. Question number 6. Favorite memory from any of your mission trips?
Ooh.
What is your favorite memory?
There's so many.
What's something that jumps out? What's something that's just ingrained in your brain? A favorite memory or time from
But
one
I
of your
can't
mission
talk
trips?
about the octopus because that just happened.
So
Like,
that's it. So out of
no,
all
no,
the mission trips and all the
no,
people you helped, it was
no.
getting to see an octopus murdered was your favorite.
No, I'm just saying, I'm trying to think. There's been, when I went, I think going to Uganda that time, I had read, I remember even when I was in law school working at the law firm, reading I Dreamed of Africa and a bunch of books set in Africa. And there was always some Poisonwood Bible, so fiction, nonfiction, whatever. And there was always something about the continent of Africa that just seemed so exotic. But it was also scary because Africa was the place when I was young. It was always like if our church had missionaries, I feel like they were somewhere on the continent of Africa and they'd just be like, so-and-so has been called to Africa. And they would make it sound like God was up on a throne, just picking and choosing people, like, I know you hate to travel and you're scared of mosquitoes and you don't want to go to Africa, but I'm going to punish you by making you go. I mean, I know that sounds awful, but like, it just seemed so scary. And so I think, but then at the same time, there was this part of me that dreamed of going there. So I think the first time that I set foot on that soil, and we were in a bus, and I think it's Mazunga is what they'll call you, but like the kids were running because in some of the villages, they don't see so many white people, and they were running and pointing, and everywhere we went, the people would just be like, you are most welcome. You are most welcome. And they would go and get dressed up. It just makes me want to cry right now. Like they would get dressed up in the finest things that they had. And I know that they wanted us, one of the families knew we wanted to see what their home was like. And they invited us into their home. And I just remember, though, the most powerful day was we had handed out the hygiene kits for the girls because a lot of girls don't have underwear or sanitary pads and things like that. And they have dark, awful bathrooms that they have to change in. And so girls just miss school. And so that puts them just further and further behind. And so we were handing out those, and each person had like a job. And my job was basically just to like either say a little prayer or just speak life into those girls. It makes me want to cry now. Anyway, that was just like probably one of the most profound experiences I've had, just because I didn't know these young women and just feeling the responsibility of trying to like just speak some love and life into them while being in this place that like I never dreamed I would go. And I think that's the other thing. Like my grandma, I don't think she ever even saw the ocean. She did venture out some, but she never really traveled. And I think about like how I would go places and she'd be like, oh, like it just seems so exotic. And to me, it just seems like based on the way I grew up, like going to Uganda was probably about as far and as out there as it could be. And it just felt to me, and still does sometimes, like surreal that I got to do that, It was like quite the blessing.
Yeah, that's great, Beth.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
what about you?
June 1998.
Oh boy.
You and I, we were freshly 2 months married.
Oh no, don't tell this story.
We went on our very first mission trip.
Gosh,
the mission trip that started it all. That was our very first mission trip. Our pastor at the time, Jim Martin, said, I want you to take our youth on a mission trip. I didn't even know there were youth mission trips.
Yeah.
I had never been on a mission trip. You had never been on a mission trip.
Right.
So we loaded up a van full of middle and high school kids and drove them to southern Tennessee and did a mission trip. Our first ever one, it was a place called Mountaintop, and we stayed there at this very rustic camp, very rustic.
Yeah.
Still to this day, looking back at all of our youth mission trips, probably top 3 worst conditions we've ever stayed in.
We were doing repairs on the camp.
It was awful. And from the minute we got there, you were very upset about the spiders, about bugs. I remember you slept on the bottom bunk and the top bunk above you, it was a metal bunk. And every time that girl moved, rust from the bunk would fall on you.
I think Jim's daughter, Kendra Martin, was in the bunk above me.
She probably did it on purpose.
She was just flopping around trying to make it fall.
But the one thing that I remember about that trip, besides it being like the thing that like was a catalyst for now, I've done 53 mission trips or 54, whatever it is now. I was in a van. We were getting ready to leave one morning.
Please don't tell this story. It's so embarrassing.
I had a van full of kids that I did not know who they were. I just met them that week because they mix all the kids up. So I had a crew of teenagers that weren't my own. We were getting ready to leave. We'll say it was like a Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. I don't know. We've been there a few days. You come storming up, bang on my window. I roll down the driver's window and you scream, "I want a divorce."
I don't remember. It had just been the worst week, and I don't remember.
And I just sat there staring at you, and you said, "As soon as we get home, I want you to move your stuff out of the apartment. I'm getting an attorney. I'm getting a divorce. I am not doing this with you." And I was like, "Okay." And I just rolled the window back up and turned around, and every kid in that van was sitting there with their mouth wide open. We had been married 2 months.
Why do you have to tell this? I'm so embarrassed. This is like the parts of my life that I would like to stamp out.
It said what is your favorite memory?
Why is that a favorite memory? Like, it's the worst memory ever.
That's a perfect microcosm of our life.
Oh my gosh, no. To say we have grown from that,
yes.
I would say yes. But no, that is awful. And like right now, I'm thinking about if anybody wants to send good divorce attorneys because Mike's putting that on the podcast. But like, that's just wrong. That is not a good moment.
I like it though.
I
look back and I laugh.
I just want to go back and find something that's so embarrassing to you.
I want to go back and find one of those 7 kids in that van and show them that we stayed married. That's what I want to be like.
It's like there's a legend in our family too. One time when I lost my temper, it was a guy. I won't tell the whole story, but it just involved a school bus and driving and
profanity.
And profanity from me because he was wanting me to like drive. I'd take children's safety and school buses safely.
He wanted you to pass the stop school bus.
Yes, he wanted me to pass the stop school bus, and he came up beside me and was blaring on his horn and like throwing his hands up at me, and I was like, "It's a school bus, you." I don't even remember what I called him, and I gave him the middle finger, and I had on a Santa hat and jingly earrings and a light up Christmas necklace, and looked in my rear view and saw all 3 kids just sitting there with their mouth open. And that became the stuff of every time they'd see a school bus, they'd be like, "It's a school bus, you bleep," and like would imitate it. And I'm like, why do my worst moments this is not what I want. Here I am telling you about these emotional times where I feel like I was at my, at least at a good place. And
you
all
cried
are like,
in Tennessee and you cried in Africa.
Oh my gosh,
that's fine.
Tears
can flow, baby.
Y'all don't have to like pick this family. You just pick my worst moments and then you sear them in your mind and you record it and play it over and over. Or like anyway.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Question number 7. How do you each manage something like irreconcilable differences? I swear that's the next question. How do you each manage something like irreconcilable differences of opinion with each other after 2+ decades of marriage?
There are things that now I know I'm not going to change your mind and I don't agree. And I don't want to say I don't care, but like I express my opinion and like, or if the kids ask and it's clear we don't necessarily agree, I make my opinion known, you make your opinion known. But for the most part, those things are not things that are like life-ending world turning upside down. It's kind of like we were talking the other night, we were talking about some things in the Bible because we've been reading, the Bible cover to cover. And there's just some stuff in, especially the Old Testament, you're like, I don't even know what to do with this. And there's a lot of stuff that could be interpreted a lot of different ways. And you and I might read it and disagree over what it means and could even feel strongly about it. But in the end, I'm like, is it going to impact, how I live my life? No. Is it going to change anything about the type of person I am? No. And so I think part of that's just getting older and having the perspective that some of these things that I think, we might disagree on, we can disagree and have different opinions. It makes life more interesting. I mean, you know, like we're not going to agree on everything.
I think the thing I had to come to terms with in marriage is the thing I'm fighting for. Is it a conviction or is it a preference?
Right.
Way too often we fight for our preferences.
Right.
Preferences mean nothing.
Right.
I prefer chocolate, you might prefer vanilla.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's like, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But then there's certain things that are like, this is my conviction. This is what I honestly,
a core belief. Yes.
That, and it can't be a core belief of, well, that's just the way I was raised.
Right.
It can't be a core belief of, well, that's just what I believe. I don't know why. I just do. You know, like have some, you know, you've got to have some kind of like
foundational
and
reasons for
like,
it. Yeah.
This is why I feel this way, you know, and it may not change the other person's mind, but at least you can come and say, this is why I want this or don't want this. And I think that's the thing. I think most of the time the irreconcilable differences are when people are leaning too heavy on the preferences and not core beliefs or convictions, or they're not able or they don't articulate why they have that conviction. Right. And so maybe that's just it. Maybe that as a husband or wife, if you feel like your spouse is digging in and saying, I'm not going to budge from this, just simply say why.
Yeah.
Like, what is your reasoning?
And really listen.
Yeah. And it might challenge them to even think, well, why do I think this?
Yeah.
And honestly, I would say if there was like, well, that's just the way I was raised, or I don't know, I just feel that way. Well, that's not a good reason. Yeah. Like, you've got to like give us some good reasons. Like, why is it that you do this? The person continued to say, she said, if not applicable, how do you productively navigate such differences with family, including children, friends, coworkers, and church members? So saying, like, if we didn't have some type of irreconcilable differences.
Oh, like if we were navigating, yeah. But I think we don't on like core beliefs, but there's stuff we definitely don't agree on. And I think, but not bad, but even I think another place you can not agree is like, okay, for example, with children, like there's some things that might happen with our kids and what you might say, you know what, this is where we've got to be a little harder on this kid or give a little more grace, whichever. And I'm at the opposite end because I'm like, oh, well, at their age or they have this, or I'm worried about this. We sometimes don't agree on that. And that's hard because we're both the parents. But I think that's where we have to try to find something in the middle that we can both live with. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to, or every once in a while, just concede and say, okay, I'm going to go with what you're thinking. But it does happen for important things that matter that we might not fully be aligned.
And I think this is where a lot of couples get in trouble because they don't sort these things out before they get married. And then they get married and they have fights over, are we going to raise our kid in church or not?
Yeah.
Are we going to homeschool or private school or public school our kid?
Yeah.
Are we going to vaccinate or not vaccinate our kid? I'm just revolving around kids right now. But it could be, are we going to have separate bank accounts or joint bank accounts? Are we going to spend Christmas with your family or my family?
Right.
You know, like there's things like that people get married and then they try to like work out those big details.
Right.
And at that point, there's sometimes you can't, you know, you just aren't going to do it. And so you've got to figure out before you walk that aisle and say, I do, is this somebody I can live the rest of my life with? And I think that if there's any irreconcilable differences before you get married, you need to really think, do I need to marry this person then? If they're major, if they're major
huge.
issues,
you
know. So I don't know, but as far as like navigating just differences in family, friends, coworkers, church members, you know, it says productively. I don't know. I think you just give a lot of grace, you know, to yourself and to other people, and realize, it's not that big of a deal, you know. And it took me. I'm 50. I'll be 52 in a couple of weeks. It's taken me 52 years to get to that point. So again, I wasn't feeling this way at 30. I never would have said that. I cared a lot more about things when I was 30 than I do now. But it's not that I don't care now. It's that I realize the things I need to care about are a lot fewer. back then I felt like every hill was a hill to die on, and it's just not. And so it's like, all right, that's fine. Do it.
And I think part of it too is like discernment and things. And what I mean by that is a lot of people will say assume good intent. And I do think for the most part, for people who typically are good people, or they're doing something out of character, or maybe if they do something that you don't understand why, you don't assume that it's personal against you. And that's something I used to do all the time. So like, for example, I've got a friend, I'm just making this up, but if I text her 3 times last week and she didn't text me back, my assumption would be, my mom would automatically go, what could I have done to make her mad? Why would she be upset with me? Oh, look, I'm the one that always has to reach out. She doesn't like me. But then if I talk to her, I may find out that she'd lost her phone, or that she'd read my text, and then, something had happened in her life at her job and she'd been working 20-hour days. There's all sorts of things that happen to people. And also, we forget that sometimes we're that person, because I've been the person who didn't answer the text, that read it on my watch and thought, I'm going to follow up, and then never follow up. And then I'm like horrified, like 2 weeks later, that I never responded to somebody. So I think that's what I mean by not assuming. Don't laugh.
No, I'm laughing at myself because I just remembered a text.
That somebody you're supposed to. Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty serious.
Yeah. But I mean. Okay, well, there we go.
I had
of it now.
I had an adult friend of ours message me 2 days ago and was like, "Why is it so hard to find friends when you're an adult?"
Oh, okay.
And I just texted back. I was like, is this a rhetorical question, or are you wanting answers? And they were like, well, I guess I was just yelling it out into the universe, but I would like your opinion on it. And then I got busy and I never replied. So here's this person asking me about friends, and I'm not even a good enough friend to like reply.
But in your defense, as you look at it, we were in Atlanta, we were driving back, Maria's moving. Again, that was not intentional, but it would be really easy for that person to form a narrative. Now, the other caveat I say, that the reason I say you have to do this with discernment, when somebody does something 1, 2, and 3, and 4 times, they're just showing you who they are, and you got to get out of that land of hope that they're going to be different. So, people will show you who they are, and sometimes people aren't nice, or they may not be the best, or I shouldn't say that. Sometimes people aren't the healthiest people to have in your own life. And I think that's another hard thing sometimes we have to do for each other, is we may have to say, like, either I may have to be like, all right, I know this feels like it's all about you, but I think there could be something else going on here if you talk to the person. Or you might have to say to me, Beth, I just don't think that person's the healthiest person for you right now because of the kinds of things they're saying and what it's doing to you. And so I don't even remember. What was the question?
I don't know either.
I don't know.
No, it was about, it started with the irreconcilable differences and then led into how do you productively navigate differences in all of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it still boils down to preference and conviction. Like what's your non-negotiables?
Or what I would say is that I teach my class, my investigations class. In the end, you have to have compassionate accountability. So we can walk through our lives and we can have compassion for people, but there still has to be accountability for people's actions. And if you love people, there will be that.
And I think this could go back up to some of our early conversations, just simply about communication.
Yeah.
If something's bugging you, just say it. Like if there's something that your spouse is doing that just you hate, you've got to at some point before you blow up, just say, we've got to talk about this.
Yes.
Like, I don't agree with this. And this is why I don't agree with it. Why do you want this so
like
badly?
the swishing in your mouth, the swishing, remember that?
I don't remember it.
Sorry.
You only bring it up every day of my life.
And you still do it.
I do
so
now
that's
on
this
purpose.
whole communication thing sometimes does fall apart.
All right, moving on to the next question. A fun one. What was your favorite gaming experience ever?
Oh, like probably board game?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Oh, because I was thinking about that time I played wiffle ball and won a championship trophy
you
with you and Brian. But
what was your favorite gaming experience? I'm thinking board games.
Okay. You're not going to agree with this because I think you ended up not liking it as much in the end. But this was around COVID days, and I am an immersive story person. And like I just read this book and it's irritating the daylights out of me because the magic system doesn't make sense. And even I Googled it and looked it up, and other people are like me. But I like immersive things. And so we had Luke and our friend Christian, who's originally from Germany, and you and I, what was it called, that game?
Time Stories.
Time Stories. Yes, it was a cooperative game, so you're playing against the game. And if you've never played one of these, it's really hard to describe why it would be fun or how you could do it, because I couldn't comprehend it until I did it. But you are working together to go through this time period and solve this thing and beat the game. And when you finish one, then you open up the next one. And they took how long? We would go to Panera.
It was about 3 hours for a game.
Yeah, probably 3. Which normally, like, no, I'm out. But those were so immersive because of the stories. And I think it was just something, too, about, like, me, you, Luke, and Christian, and it's just being, you're in this time when the world around you feels like it's falling apart during COVID, and, you know.
I think it may have even been pre-COVID.
It might have been. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah, because we weren't wearing masks. I don't know. But anyway, but there was just something about that for me, I think it was the mixture of the story and then just the different personalities that we all brought to that game. I don't know. I just really liked it. What about you?
I think mine was winning the state championship in Crokinole.
Oh, well, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. First time ever playing that game.
Yes. Uh-huh.
To be able to enter the tournament, the way I was able to enter the tournament, the people I had to beat, the crowd that has surrounded us there and was cheering us on. It was phenomenal. It was such a fun experience. It was unbelievable.
And you were like the underdog.
Oh, absolutely. I just learned how to play the stupid game.
You're like you're the classic underdog story that comes up.
Yeah.
So
it's like the first time you hand somebody a basketball and all of a sudden they're dunking and hitting 3-pointers.
Yeah.
That's what was happening with me.
Yeah.
Just a wild ride.
Yeah.
All right. You've both discussed the difficulties of parenting, especially adult children. Does parenthood ever reach a point where, with your wisdom and years of experience together, it becomes easy, for lack of a better word, or at least you don't sweat most things?
I don't think we're there yet. Maybe if I could teleport to the future and I'm 90 looking back. I think that's what's hard about parenting. We're really not going to know until our children are full adults themselves navigating life, and you're not going to know. And even then, I think you can do it all right or you can do it all wrong, and your kids, it's like we've talked about, there's nature and nurture. There's so many things that happen. Of course, providing a stable, loving home is going to impact your kids, but your kids can then still make poor choices because they have free will and they're going to go out there and live their own life. And there could be any host of reasons for that. It could be society pressure. It could be mental illness. It could be, physical illness. It could be just, any type of reason that they might make poor choices despite you, in theory, doing almost everything right. Or because we also see the parents that pretty much do it all wrong and their kids somehow overcome. And so I think that's so hard because I think I struggle with sort of that A plus B equals C. I think it's just like with our life. It's like these 10-step plans. Like if you do all these things, it's going to work. And I just remember when Jacob was born, I'd been in the hospital for that 12 weeks. I'd had that placental abruption. He was a preemie. He had a kidney condition. He was on antibiotics. He was jaundice. I mean, it was an incredibly, incredibly difficult time with him. And he didn't sleep. Did he sleep when he was 11 or 12 months through the night? Maybe. He didn't sleep. And I read all the books. I read the books that were like, cry it out, very regimented and rigid. And I read the books that were like, just love him and hold him and do whatever. Nothing that we did with him worked. I remember also he was so strong-willed that I remember the doctor would be like, well, timeout doesn't start until he calms down if you put him in timeout. And I'm like, well, then he's never going to calm down because he would just, he's the most stubborn person, and that's been good, which people had told me it would be good later in life. But I say all that to say there was no guidebook because in the end, part of that wasn't about us. I mean, we could influence what happened with him, but he was going to sleep when he was going to sleep. And he had a lot of medical reasons he didn't. I don't want to downplay that. Being a preemie, having jaundice, having all these issues. But then we had Maria, and she found her thumb and was sucking her thumb at 11 weeks, and she slept through the night. And I remember just being like, there's only 22 months between these two kids. I have not changed that drastically in 22 months. I was still just as anxious and everything with her as I was with him. And so I say all that to say, I think we put so much pressure thinking that there's like an exact right way to do it. And I'm preaching to me right now because I do this all the time. Like I'll be in therapy sometimes, like I will go back to like when my kids were 7, I said this. And what if I've drastically changed their life because I made this mistake or I did this or I wasn't the parent that I wanted to be. But I've even told my kids now that they're adults, like, hey, this is my first time doing this too. I haven't been a mom before. I don't know what I'm doing, And so I don't know. I think there are pockets of easy times, if that makes sense too. I mean, for the group, like it's not like it's all bad. It's hard, but like there are times that are absolutely amazing when you just like get to have a deep conversation with your kids or they do something that just kind of stuns you, that's kind and compassionate and you're really proud of them. So, I mean, there are beautiful times in it, but I don't know that, at least for me, and maybe it's because I'm a perfectionist in the way I'm wired, but I don't know that I'll ever get to a point where I'll be like, my work here is done, or like, I feel like, okay, I'm feeling really good and confident in what I'm doing. I don't know. What about you?
I mean, I always said, I feel like in every stage of a kid's life, when you finally reached a point where you're like, I've got this figured out, the kid changes stages. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's a whole new ball game. It's like you figured out finally how to play baseball, and now the kid's playing basketball. Yeah. And you've got a new rule book. Yes. And it's like, how do I do it now? I don't need a glove now. I don't need a bat, you know? And and the same thing. So it's like every stage, eventually you'll get to the point where you'll get it. But then they change. I will say, looking back, I think the first 3 years are the hardest. Yeah. At least for me, I thought they were. I thought ages 4 and 5 were fun, that they, they're able to communicate a little bit more, and they're older, so you can do a little bit more with them.
And there's still a lot of wonder and curiosity.
Yeah. Then I think, to me, elementary is about getting your kids off to the right start mentally. Like healthy mental habits as far as learning and homework and that kind of stuff.
Trying to be kind to people.
And then I think when you hit middle school, it's more emotional. That's where the emotional learning has to take over. Whew. Then you get to high school and it's social. And then they become adults and you're hoping that what seeds you planted spiritually will take hold. So, if you look at someone's life, the mental, emotional, social, and spiritual, those 4 areas, I think that's how they grow is, you don't want your kid to be 16. You're still trying to teach them mental things. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you also don't want to be trying to teach your 7-year-old social stuff, right? Because they just need to be kids, And so I think that's obviously I'm not a parenting expert by any means. That's just how I would look at it and break it down. Is I think there are easy times in every season, and there are hard times in every season. And I think the older you get, the more you don't sweat it, as far as some of the things you used to worry about.
You also realize how little you can control of the choices they make. I mean, particularly once they're in high school and they can drive, and now that kids have smartphones and they're smarter than us to know how to, any parental controls you have to get in. That's one of the things that I just can't stand sometimes are the parents who are just like, well, if you were doing a good job parenting, nothing bad would ever happen to your kid because you'd be monitoring everything. I'm like, I would have to be reading 15 encyclopedias a night if I tried to monitor everything that was on your teenager's phone because they live on their phone. You can't, at some point, kids are going to do what they're going to do. And I think that's the other piece is when people try to live too much through their kids, their own dreams. And I think that's been another thing for us that has helped is once I let go of some of the expectations, like I used to want Maria sometimes to like wear some really put together cute clothes. And I just remember being like, this is not worth the battle. That kid's going to wear what she's going to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And she developed this quirky, fun style that we even called Maria style. You know, she brought leg warmers back before they were ever in style again. And one year she was a ballerina giraffe, you know, but I think that's part of what made her creative. And so I think to a certain extent, letting our kids be who they are and trying to embrace that and trying to approach it, as Ted Lasso would say, because we just watched that episode where he talked about curiosity. I think trying to approach our kids with curiosity too, like just trying to wonder, like, what makes you like that? What do you love about that? What do you hate about that? Or why are you thinking that? Or why, you know, that helps too.
Yeah. Yeah. Let your kids not be you.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And it's okay. And let them have, because I never will forget too, one of the times, I think it was Maria called me because she disagreed with something politically or something that we'd been talking about, and she was really upset. And I'm like, that's okay. I mean, I didn't like what she was thinking at that time or whatever, probably, you know, but I'm like, it's okay. You're a different person. You have a different brain. You're going to have different opinions, and that's okay. Kids also change a lot. So that's the other thing.
They do.
What they're doing today may not be what they're doing tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, Beth, you ready for another question?
Sure.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
The one where you just told that awful story about me.
Is that your most embarrassing
moment? I'm not
moment?
that person anymore.
I know you're not, honey.
Oh, I've had a lot of embarrassing moments in my life. You know.
We just need one.
Okay.
What was the most?
Well, it's kind of hard to say the absolute most. Oh, gosh. Well, when Maria was she was dancing and I was pregnant with Josh and very pregnant with Josh. Josh was born in January and this was in December. Maria was in the Kernersville parade and you have to go line up for the parade, like, I don't know, an hour and a half before the parade starts, and you're way away from your car. And then you have to go through and do the entire parade, which is a really long parade at Christmas. And there's no way to, like, you can't just leave and come back. Well, I was very pregnant, and I think maternity clothes just aren't made very well. And so at one point, Maria and a bunch of the girls were in the back of a truck, and I went and swung my leg up to get in the back of the truck, and my pants split. And all the way down, like, my butt. And I couldn't leave because, so I'm horrified, of course, but I'm like, what am I going to do? So the only thing I can do is take my coat off and tie it around my waist. And it's December. So then I had to I had to wait for like an hour, go through the entire Kernersville parade with my pants split, with a coat around my waist, and just a long sleeve shirt, freezing to death.
Why didn't your husband go get you another pair of pants?
I don't even know where you were. I don't think you could have gotten to me. I mean, because we were parked.
I'd have taken off my pants and given them to you.
Oh, I'm sure you would have. That's a good point. I don't know. You were probably just laughing at me. I don't know. Anyway, what was yours?
Same thing. Split my pants. Isn't that something?
Is this like when people? What's the secret to your marriage? Well, we both split our pants fairly routinely. Yeah.
Yeah, I split mine at a funeral, Beth.
Yeah, yours is worse. Your pants split.
I was
incident.
performing a funeral.
Yeah.
Outdoors, graveside service, and they wanted to bury the urn in the ground. The widow was having a hard time getting the urn box in the ground. I wanted to help her. I bent over to help her and split my pants right in the middle of everybody as I was helping this widow, crying widow, drop her ashes from her husband into this hole. And I had on my bright red underwear.
I was just going to say, Mike has some lucky red underwear that he wears for certain things. And so, but here's the crazy thing. For mine, I don't know that anybody found out that I split my pants.
Oh, I thought you say you weren't wearing any underwear.
No. Okay. Anyway, what
Sometimes you don't.
Stop. Stop it. What about you? Did anybody know you'd split your pants?
I have no idea. If the rip was loud enough, they had to have heard that. But they probably thought I farted. But yeah, just know that if you ever see me in front of people, I'm wearing red underwear. I have like 3 pairs, and I only wear them when I'm like
preaching,
doing comedy, doing a wedding. I'm
Okay.
wearing red underwear.
I apologize, Sue, because you're going to be at his comedy show, and that's all you're going to think about when you're at his next comedy show in August.
Yeah, where's Sue's question, by the way? She didn't submit a question either.
I don't know. I'm just
You
kidding.
claim she's a big fan.
Well, she's a new fan. She'll be eager, I'm sure. Anyway,
Yeah.
Next question.
What is the favorite country you have ever visited?
Oh, that feels impossible.
You've got to name one right now.
No, this
right
is like
now.
my favorite Salem sister. I can't do it.
All right, then don't.
No, please
Right?
let me think.
No.
You go first. Let me think. I need a minute. Give me a minute.
I don't want you to name. Here's what you're going to do. Well, I would say this. I would say this. No, just give me one. I only want to hear one country come out of your mouth.
Gosh.
Just one come out of your mouth.
Okay, you go first. I can't. I'm thinking.
Scotland.
Really? Why?
Scotland is my favorite country I've ever been to.
Why is that?
It was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
They spoke English.
Uh-huh.
I could read the signs. Like the food was good. It was just a gorgeous country. We flew into Edinburgh. We rented a car. We just drove a big loop around.
We drove
Oh yeah, I drove from the airport to our first
to the
hotel.
cul-de-sac to the first traffic circle. Yeah.
Forget this. You drove, but anyway, we did a big loop around the whole island. We got to go to Loch Ness. We got to see the Shetland cow. What are those things? Those the hairy cows.
The hairy cows. Yeah, I
Whatever
forget,
they
but we
are.
brought back one of those hats for the kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are those called? I can't remember. But those real
anyway,
shaggy,
it was
really
just a
shaggy
great.
cows.
I loved Scotland.
Yeah.
And so that's my favorite country I've ever been to. What's yours? One country come out of your mouth right now.
Gosh, I don't know if I can do it. I've loved
3,
so many.
2,
Okay, I'm going to say
1.
Italy because Northern Italy, the food, we went to that Cinque Terre, which I'll probably say wrong, but we actually stayed there and it had the perfect combination. You have the beach there that's beautiful, but then we hiked a little bit through there. The food was amazing. Venice was just so different than anything you would imagine. And then I don't know, there was just something there was a lot of different stuff to experience, but even though you've got the history, there was also a lot of stunning natural beauty, which I tend to like. So I'll go with that. But really, I can't because what I would love to do is pick about 10 and tell you the different reasons for the different ones.
Well, the follow-up question, this person submitted 2. Favorite country, and what is your top country you want to visit that you hadn't been to yet? And again, only name one. I don't want to hear about this, that, and the other.
Okay. I read a ton of things that are set in Australia, fiction, nonfiction, all of that. And I've always been fascinated with Australia. I think I love koalas. I love kangaroos. I think that Australia's just got such a unique ecosystem. But also, there's just something about it's on the other end of the earth. Their seasons are opposite. It's on the other end of the earth. It seems like Australia seems like a country of extremes. It has these deserts with this extreme heat and dryness, but it's also got a beautiful coast. So I think, but also then I had it even more because when Steve Irwin was out, I never will forget. I think I was in law school, but you came home and you had seen him on TV and you were like, you are not going to believe this guy, Beth. You have to watch it. And I just remember
God rest his soul.
I just remember seeing him crawling, like an alligator. But it was just his enthusiasm about the wildlife and stuff there. I don't know. And then Josh came along. And pretty much, if you want to do the 100 most deadly animals in the world or the whatever, most deadly animals or most deadly insects or most deadly whatever, they're all in Australia, which would make you think that I wouldn't want to go there. But again, I just think it's got so much diversity in the nature. It would just be so cool to do.
All right. But there's not much of the country you could even go to.
I know, but
because it's so
the dry and the desert.
Yeah.
And I know,
and
but
you just can't even get to 80% of it.
I know, but it's again, this is where would you want to go? They didn't say that I'm not a gazillionaire who could just get a private plane to fly me to some of those places or something. This is just dream world.
All right.
Okay, what about you?
I'm going to say Ireland.
Oh, well, we can make that happen. Australia, you got to travel 48 hours or something crazy around the world.
I would say Ireland just because I think it's is very similar to Scotland. I know how much I enjoy Scotland. I think I would enjoy Ireland just as much.
You like Dairy Girls?
I love Dairy Girls.
That was a great show. Yes.
Would like to go
And
there.
we saw that awesome, inspiring story in Atlanta about the guy, the compassion in the museum. The guy that was shot?
Oh, yeah. The guy was from Derry.
Yeah, he was from Derry, too. Yeah. There's been a lot of conflict and things. I mean, Ireland, but it does look beautiful. And it seems like Ireland has a rich history of, like, stories and mythology and stuff like that. But I also...
And I love a good castle.
Yeah.
And we went and we saw so many castles
That's
in
what
Scotland.
we did. And I'm
I'd like to
fascinated
visit
with
these
castles.
ruins and castles in Ireland.
Yeah, because I love knights and things like that. And so any of that's fun.
All right.
Okay.
Here's probably the most controversial.
Oh, boy.
Now, this person submitted this one and said, I hope y'all get in a fight about this.
Oh, man. Who did this?
If Beth could change one thing about you, what would it be and why?
Oh, boy. Oh,
So go ahead, Beth. If you could change one thing about me, what would it be and why?
This is hard. I'm going back and forth between two things.
God, who? I knew this question was coming, and I still hadn't come up with something.
Oh, okay. Well, I apologize.
Go ahead.
Do I get to tell you both of them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the first one is, but see, some of this makes you endearing, but it's the instigator part where you just keep poking. Like, we were talking about the communication and you're like, hey, if something's bothering you, you need to tell the person. There have been times of late where I've been like, Michael, leave me alone. I am not in a good mood. You keep bringing this up. It is making me angry. And then you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until I get mad and yell at you. It's like you're just trying to bring out that person, that like explodes and gets angry.
I miss her.
I don't. I'm like, I feel like I'm a much better person now that
much
I
more
don't
boring person.
not nearly as fiery and angry. So that's good. So that's a good thing. And then, well, no, that's probably the biggest one. I think it's just that. It's the pressing of the buttons. It is like.
That's the one thing you would change about me, though? But you said it was endearing. What if I stopped doing that? Think about how boring I would be.
Well, we could try it. How about we give it a test run for like a few weeks and let's see how it goes.
All right, deal. We'll report back in a couple of weeks.
When you're not, I don't think you'll be able to do it. I don't think you can. No, I do not. Because there are times, and like you can't make all these like sarcastic comments to the kids that like trigger me. You do that too. You do that all the time.
What?
Okay, like I'm an only child, okay? So like what you'll do is the kids will do something that's like, they've come in and okay, my office is on the back porch, for example. So let's say they came in or like the animals that we have, like the cats and stuff, have like totally trashed everything that's out there. And there's cat hair everywhere. And that's my space where I have to work. And that's my favorite space that I want to be able to relax, but I can't or something. If I say anything, you'll be like, oh, there's mom being an only child, wanting to have everything her way. Or like.
That's not what I say.
What do you say then?
I say, kids, come on, cut mom some slack. She's an only child. She doesn't know how to share her things.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Yes. That I'm just like, and then it just makes me want to stab you in the head. I'm like, why do you say this?
Because I know it gets under your skin.
But it's also, you're saying it too. This isn't a time when you're saying it when I'm like truly being irrational. You say it when it's something that would make you furious if it were you. But then you turn it around on me like, oh, kids, look at your mom. And then you just keep saying it in that like passive aggressive way, and just poking the sleeping bear. That is what you do. You just poke and poke and poke till the bear like, rah. Yeah. Good. That's why we need video for this, right? It would have been some good special effects. Yeah. Okay, what about me?
He didn't ask that. He just said, what would Beth change about you?
Really?
Yeah.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. He said if you could change one thing about Beth, what would it be and why? There's a few things, but I'll just.
I thought you couldn't think of anything.
I did. Yes. I thought of so many. I was just like, what would I do? But I
Can
think,
we have the top 100 list?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one would be when you ask. Oh, man, there's so many.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
One would say when you ask me to do something and then you go ahead and do it and don't even give me time to do it. Like, you'll be like, hey, can you ask Jacob XYZ? I'm like, sure. And then I'll immediately text Jacob.
Oh,
hey,
no, you don't immediately.
Yeah, I do.
it.
I'm like, hey,
no, that's the
what
problem.
about this?
You delay.
And he's like, I just told Mom because she just messaged me.
Okay, no,
And
time
I'm
out.
like,
Let's go
what?
back. Let's go back. Okay, Friday, I have to drive back from Atlanta, so I'm on the phone with you. Like, oh, Michael, do you think you could call and see about Josh's glasses prescription? And you're like, sure. Okay, now that's one of those things that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let him do
That's
that.
not even what I'm talking about.
No, but then I follow up and I'm like, did you do it? And you're like, oh, I forgot. But then if I keep following up or I do it myself, you'll say that I'm nagging or that I came in and interjected and did it.
Take that one off the list. I got plenty more.
Yeah.
The other one would be, Beth, do we need something? I'm at the store. Do we need something? Yes. Get this, and this. Okay. I come home and I open the refrigerator. We have all those things. And you're like, oh, I didn't look. I just assumed we didn't.
Yeah. Or sometimes I just forget. Like the last time I thought I looked, we didn't have those things like milk or something. Yeah. But then we actually don't have bread right now, and I didn't say that on the list.
Or it could also be, and I hate to say this because I find it so endearing, is your ADHD. When you ask me a question and I answer it, but your mouth asked the question, but your brain is thinking about something completely different. And then you ask me the same question again 10 seconds later. And I'm like, Beth, I just answered that question.
Okay. This part, now you've offended me because I'm neurodivergent.
I know you are. That's what I said. I find it.
Well, then you don't get to point
endearing.
out things that I can't help. That is part of who I am. My brain
Medication
works
helps
in a
that.
different way.
They got medication
I don't
that
like
helps
how
it.
it makes me feel.
Well, I don't like how your ADHD makes me feel. So there. I hope whoever wrote that had
Had fun
with this fight.
Yeah, can we circle back? What were some of that advice we
They
gave
also
earlier?
had a good suggestion. They were like, you could even make a whole segment of this and focus on each area of like, hey, are you still there?
Oh,
like,
what
this
gets
is what
on
I would
your
change.
nerves in your
He
marriage?
doesn't say get on your nerves.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
They said if Beth could change one thing about you, maybe in your marriage, you know what I mean? And parenting.
Oh, they're probably hoping,
and-
though, for the marriage, they'd be like, I would change the fact that you just love too much. You know, kind of like people do
I
in
don't
those
think this person
interviews.
wants that.
Oh, okay. But I mean, but we could do that. I bet we could come up with it.
Career.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We got the 4 pillars that we
Yeah.
talk about.
Well,
Life at the intersection.
Yeah, we could think
And
about
so we
that.
could be like, what would you change about me in each of those 4 areas? And
Yeah.
what would I change about you in those 4 areas?
Yeah.
I know what I do career-wise for you.
What?
Make more money.
Oh.
So I don't have to work as many jobs.
Oh, I know. You know what I
What
do?
attorney's spouse has to work 6 jobs?
Oh, please. Oh, my gosh.
Not a good one. Here's the last question.
Okay.
And we're going to end on a sad note.
Oh.
I know it is sad for you, not for me.
Oh.
Question number 13. What does impending empty nesting look like for you?
Oh, my gosh.
And is it the same for Beth?
Oh, do you want to go first, or do you want to end on a happy note or a sad note? Because if we want to end on sad, I'll go first.
No, we'll end on sad. Like impending empty nesting look like for me? I can't wait.
Ugh, there's something wrong with
wait.
I just don't believe you when you say that. There is something. Do you know what? The leg that would have made you have 2 X chromosomes that fell off to make a
What?
Y chromosome was like all
I don't
bonding
even know what
or
that
love
means.
with. Well, no, there's an X and a Y chromosome. I'm just saying, you have to be deficient. Something had to fall off in your chromosome to program you that this is not breaking your heart and crushing your soul.
No, like, listen. On August the 14th, our daughter is moving out of the house. Hopefully for the last time.
Oh, no, don't say that,
Yes.
please.
We can't have her back. We will sell this house and downsize to a 1-bedroom, 1-bath.
No,
before
we
she
won't.
moves back.
And Josh knows that we won't because he said that to you one time when you looked at some other house and he was like, Mom would never do it unless you had a bedroom for all of us. And I was like, yes, Josh, you are right.
I'll get
Anyway.
my own house. I'll
Okay.
get my own 1-bedroom, 1-bath.
Okay. You
But-
get your little Winnebago or whatever. and
Maria
park it.
and her friend from college, they are getting an apartment. Well, it's a condo that they're renting this starting in April 14th. They're both
August.
August 14th.
Yes.
They're going to be there. We got rid of her.
So I need to
But
cherish. I'm going to have like
Jacob
something
is
special with her
moving
every
home
day.
this Friday.
Yeah.
So we're going to have all 3 kids
And
back
Jacob
in the house
hasn't
again.
lived here in I don't know how
Years.
long. Oh my gosh, it is going to be
3 years.
It is going to be like heaven on earth to have him here. It is going to be so amazing.
Yeah, he hadn't lived here since he
'cause-
left for his sophomore year of App.
And he came home all the time when he was at his first college, but he barely came home when he was at App. And when he did, he was not in our house.
Yeah,
he was
so
always out.
For 2 weeks, we're going to have all 3 kids here.
That's going to be so exciting as they like fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Maria moves out. Then we got to wait for Jacob to get a job so he can move out, hopefully. And then we're just left with me, you, and Josh again. And then we have to wait for Josh graduates high school. And then we're sending him off somewhere. I don't know where he's going to go. He's going to go.
No, he is. I'm just looking at you like you are an idiot. I'm sorry, but I'm just like, no, he's not.
And then that's it. And then it'll just be you and I.
And that is
And
the
I
stuff
can't
that nightmares can be made of.
Why?
Because it's sad. Think about
Listen.
even when the other 2 kids moved out.
Listen, we got 2 friends right now that are living their best life. Chuck and Sarah Spong.
Uh-huh.
All their kids now are gone. They're empty nesters.
Yes.
They're loving it.
I don't know. I bet
They're
if I asked Sarah
traveling.
her
They're doing
son,
stuff.
Yes,
I mean, they are like, this is the life they always wanted. And they had to get rid of like 4 kids or 5. I don't know how many they got. They had
4.
a bunch. But more than us.
Yeah. Okay, listen. For me, it is sad, and I have to work really hard not to fall in depression over it. Because when they went to college, especially both Jacob and Maria at the same time, this house was so quiet.
I loved it.
It was so, our house has always been a house that is loud and rambunctious and kind of messy and a little crazy, and people are in and out, and it's just always been this flurry of activity. Like you would call me and Maria like Hurricane Beth and Hurricane Maria, and then yet the boys. I mean, it's just always just stuff and excitement, novelty and spontaneity, and people here, so you're not alone in this quiet house. I mean, it just makes me so sad to think about it, because also I think the hard part for me is also that our kids, I don't think, are even going to end up close to us. Like, I think that they'll end up, especially like Maria, it's very clear, probably be California or another country. And Jacob will be in the middle of nowhere, somewhere remote, doing field work or moving around. And then Josh, he already said he's just going to travel the world or something. Who knows what he's going to do. But so I just think it's going to be so sad.
It gives you a reason to go visit them. This is best thing for you. You want them to scatter, so then you can go travel and see them and have experiences like that.
No,
you don't want them to stay
this
here.
House as like a mausoleum to them so that they can come back. Because that was the other thing.
Let me tell you something.
When you were joking
I've already
about the
talked
house,
to Steve Montgomery. Oh. This house is going on the market May of 2028.
No, Maria even said, because when we were talking about like, what if we ever moved to a different house? And Maria's like, well, as long as I have my bedroom, I won't come back if it's like a guest bedroom. And that's why we have to have the space for the children so that they can come back.
This is always come back.
I do want them to come back. What was this question about irreconcilable differences?
This is irreconcilable differences right here.
This is it.
We're going to see who wins.
But it breaks my heart. So like, I mean, you can go into it with excitement. I go into it. I'm having anticipatory grief, or maybe I'm already grieving, but I guess that would be what it is. You're grieving something that hasn't happened yet. Oh my gosh, that's great. But no, it's just, for me, it's just sad, and it'll be hard. And I think every time, and I'm excited for them every time, and I'm excited that they have their independence, that they get to do all these things. I'm super excited for them, but it will be very, very sad for me. So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not good enough.
No, it has nothing. See, that is spoken like a man. Oh my gosh. Rolling my eyes right now, like making it about you. It's not about you. It's about the children.
You believe they're our future?
Yes. We could sing a song about it later. A song about the children.
You want to treat them well?
Yes.
Let them lead the way?
Yes. Those are some really... I'm like exhausted from this question session.
This is now the longest podcast we've ever had.
How long is it?
It's long. It's like an hour and a half.
Well, we didn't need all that stuff at the beginning.
That was short. There was only like 10 minutes of
Oh,
it.
if we ever did cut things, I guess you could have cut that, but we don't ever edit anything, which is clear. But anyway,
Yeah.
those were good questions. Do I get to know who asked any of them? Like who wanted us to fight or something?
No. It's top secret.
Why do you get to know
and
all
there's
this
a
stuff?
couple people who messaged me and said, I have a question, but I'm still thinking. Like, I want to do a question, but I'm still thinking.
Okay.
They didn't get theirs submitted in time.
Okay.
So
So there's still a chance for Katrina.
I'm giving up on her. But yeah, the couple of other ones. So we may get a couple more that trickle in.
Yeah.
And if we do, we'll tackle those next episode. Or we'll stretch them out. Maybe one question an episode until we run out.
I do feel like part of this podcast, though, we gave advice and then contradicted ourselves on some of it.
No,
But,
I don't think so.
well, I mean, I think it's all, everything's like I don't know, everything flows and is in the amount of what you do it to. You know, like just like we were talking about on some of the things. Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
okay,
right now.
never mind.
That made no sense. It's really like I don't know.
I was just thinking, I need to go back through. If I think about the questions, it probably would sound like some of it was a contradiction, but it wasn't. If I need to follow up and elaborate on anything, people, please let me know.
Okay.
But these questions also, asking me my favorite of anything just feels impossible.
Oh, I could do it.
No, but I'm just saying, but
I
if
have
you...
I have a opinion of a favorite of everything.
I know. And you, like you can have your favorite Broadway musical. You can have your favorite... People have asked me my favorite book. If you've read like thousands of books, how on earth do you pick one
The Bible.
favorite? Oh, gosh. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, well, let's eliminate that since that's the easy one for you to say. Let's not say that. But I'm just saying, like, there's so many things that touch you for different reasons.
Into the
How do you
Wild.
pick just one? Okay. Anyway, I like a lot of different things, so it's really hard for me to pick just one
Yeah.
on countries and everything, you know, all those things.
Oh,
Places I want to
I
visit,
can give concrete
places I've
answers
been.
for every single thing. Favorite friend, favorite child, favorite
Oh
parent.
my gosh. You are going to
favorite-
alienate half
can
the
do it all.
world. Oh,
I can
please.
do it all if I
Yes.
wanted to.
It's just wrong.
Like rapidly. Like I wouldn't even have to I wouldn't struggle.
So super quick, you've got your big thing. We've got to wrap up, but August 1st is
August 1st, the big gala.
Gala.
Friends of Stoke Shelter. I'll
Yeah.
be doing the comedy that night.
I'm going to wear an evening gown.
Perfect. And then August the 8th, I'm back at the Palmetto Theater with Taylor Baden.
Yeah, you've got a lot
And
happening.
then the next weekend, Taylor and I have a private show at a church. So, yeah. So
You're
we
just
have,
making it rain. Money. There
now I
you
just
go.
need
Yes.
some, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you this. Well, we got time. It's so long. People have already turned it off
yeah.
by now anyway. I almost made the easiest money I've ever made in my life being an officiant.
How?
I had someone call me and they said, hey, I found you online. Are you available August the 8th?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what time? And it was like 5:00. I'm like, no, I can't. Because that's the night I have the show and with Taylor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. And so they started telling me the story. It was a woman, her son and his girlfriend, fiance were getting married on April the 8th. And her uncle was going to do the wedding. He's a pastor and he's going to do the wedding. And so it'd be like, what? This guy's great uncle,
Yeah.
whatever, was doing the wedding. Well, the great aunt is now gotten really sick and it's like in the hospital.
Right.
And so they're trying to find a backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, I'm wanting to pay you to be on retainer. And she was
To
like,
maybe not even show
yes!
up and do anything.
yeah,
Oh,
she was
that's
like,
a dream.
he may not show
Yeah,
up. He may not be able to show up because his wife is sick
Yeah.
or something may happen. Or everything may be fine. She may
Yeah.
get out of the hospital and they still come and everything's great. But I'll pay you. But I just want to pay you on retainer to have you just in case.
What would I have to do to be
How great
ordained
would
so
that
I
have
could
been?
do it? Yeah. I'm like, or do you want me to just go do your show with Taylor and you go do that?
You'd probably be funnier.
I know.
It is up in
There
Stokes
you go.
County.
See, that's right. I'd be speaking to my people.
Yeah.
Yes. So I should do that. I should go do the Taylor thing and or I could be on retainer and just pray that they don't need
I should
us.
just advertise that. If you need
a backup plan, a plan B.
$100 is all it would take. And then if you need me, you need me. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, just give me $100 and I'll be on call.
I'm the Saul Goodman of pastor officiants. Just put me on retainer for when you need me.
Are you going to have a burner phone?
Yep, that's it.
A bunch of burner phones in case.
Yeah, they're like, can you officiate? Yeah, it's all good, man.
That would be quite the business model. We can work with that. We'll tweak it.
Yeah, but I do want to say the place that I did the wedding this weekend as a wedding venue, gorgeous. I told you, it's one of the most beautiful wedding venues I've ever been to.
I just saw you didn't show me any pictures yet. I saw them. I looked up the venue, but
it's
it looked
awesome,
really pretty.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But the owner was so impressed with me that she's already put me at the top of her vendor list, and it was like, I'm going to start telling everybody.
I want the people that have the really cool food and stuff at their wedding to invite me and the really cool venues.
This place is really expensive, so if somebody's having a wedding there, they're going to have
good food and stuff.
Like the place, like the one I had to come back yesterday because I had to do stuff for Maria, but
be a father.
They had an open bar.
And you said they had food. You could have stayed and done everything, but you had to leave. Yeah,
it was like so nice. Yeah, but I had to leave.
That whole parenting thing, it just kind of gets in the way of things.
And they're adults. It's like there should be out of my life.
You are terrible.
Why are adult kids still needing me?
Do you know what? Someday they're going to listen to this, and when they're in therapy,
never going to listen to this.
Well, that's the truth. I was going to say, that's the good news. We can say whatever we want because our kids, they're friends. Like Jackie probably listens to it. Maria's friend Jackie or something, for all we know. But our kids will never listen to this.
That's why Josh is my favorite kid.
Oh,
because Jake and Maria will never listen. I can say that.
You are terrible. Awful.
But you're my favorite Salem sister.
Oh, no, you don't
right
get
after Jim Pardue.
No, I was going to say, you don't get to say that now because that was Katrina's idea. So you don't get to say that.
So I would probably say Jen Pardue and then Berta.
I thought you were going to say President Thrift.
I'm going to say Berta because she's the only Salem sister who's asked me to do her wedding.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where's all these other Salem sisters? Who's doing their weddings? Not me. So Berta asked her, she's bumped up there.
No, let me tell you, you know what, this whole thing with the wedding, you didn't have this business model in place back then when a lot of them got married. They predated your ability to do this.
I still could do weddings.
Well, you weren't out there telling people.
They should have known. They knew I was a pastor.
Again, let's go back to communication. People can't read minds.
All right. So Jen Pardue, Berta. Number 3 is
I've ever heard.
Marissa, because she not only listens, she submitted a question. You're number 4, honey.
Aww.
And then number 5 would be Katrina, because she does listen, but she doesn't listen good enough to submit questions. But I do like Katrina because she is a fan. So there's my
And you know what
top
else?
5.
And she is one of the reasons we're going to have a cool T-shirt because of her son, where he said that about this podcast is ridiculous but kind of funny. Yeah, when we get that on our T-shirt, then she's going to move up the rankings when we're making a lot of money off that. Oh, well, good point. So he'll be your...
She didn't even have a good quote for
It'll
us.
be... Poor Katrina. Katrina, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's so mean. This is what I live with,
She's
folks.
an engineer.
What?
That's what it says on her Facebook page for a job. She says she's head engineer somewhere.
Okay.
I think it's a made-up title.
Well, we'll talk to her and ask. Katrina, write in and tell Mike what you're the engineer of. But anyway, it's been great. This was fun with our...
We should just drag this out another minute and a half, and then it'll be 100 minutes for our 100th
Well, do you want me to talk about how great Cam is, my dog?
No, we ain't talking about
He was sitting there with his legs crossed and looking so happy.
Nobody cares about that dog.
He was happy that, you know what? He missed me so much when I was gone that he was jumping up and down and I could barely contain his enthusiasm. I don't think anybody else that lives here even knew that I wasn't here for 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah, so that's another thing with parenting. As your kids get older, they definitely aren't as enthusiastic to see you.
I got so excited today. I was thinking about the week after my birthday, which would be the week of the 16th, because you're going to Atlanta, right?
Oh, I think I am. Yeah, you're
right. So I thought
yeah.
Beth's going to be in Atlanta. Maria has moved out. Josh will be back in school. I will have the whole house to myself every day. And then I remember Jacob's moving back. And I got so disappointed.
No, see, this
got
is
so
crazy.
sad.
Because, see, I would be sitting there like, oh, my goodness, what kind of bonding things could Jacob and I do one-on-one? What kind of exciting things could we do together? That's what I would be doing.
No, it made me sad.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, that's it. Look, we hit 100 minutes.
Yes, we did
This
it.
is, hey, are you still there? This is
Beth.
and Mike. Until next time.